Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for our 2:30 streaming show. And first thing, just right out the gate, sadly, it is just me. Our beloved Jamie French is taking some time for the holiday, and so you are stuck with just the substitute teacher. And believe me, no one's more sorry about that than I am. But we are covering a lot of different big stories here across the tri-state, so let's just go ahead and jump right in. Our first one, we are working on several. As I mentioned, a Kentucky grand jury has declined to indict an Evansville man on a murder charge. Now, those of you who've been paying attention would know Jacob Bard was charged with murder after the shooting death of a student at Kentucky State University. Defense attorneys say Bard went to campus on December 9th to pick up his sons, who were students there. He says the campus police department failed to address multiple armed violent felonies in the days prior. Now, when they walked outside the building, he says a mob of people attacked his family, so he fired his gun. Under Kentucky law, someone can use deadly force to protect themselves or another person, and that's what they say Bard did in this case. The grand jury, which only hears evidence from the Commonwealth's attorney, apparently found the self-defense claim credible enough to decline prosecution. Emma Beck will have a reaction tonight on 14 News. Now, looking just a little bit elsewhere, we do have big news for Brescia University in Owensboro today. Now, officials announced a $1.8 million gift to create a new student house. Now, the gift comes from Steve and Sandy Hayden. It will be available in the fall of 2026 for graduate students, as well as incoming juniors and seniors. Officials say it will be called Hayden Commons at Brescia University and will feature 7 brownstone-style units located at the corner of Locust and 5th Streets in downtown Owensboro. Now, 4 of the units will be open in fall of 2026, with additional units completed as demand grows. Now, each brownstone can house up to 7 students grouped by similar graduate programs. Now, again, another bit of news in Kentucky. Less than 2 weeks after opening, Kentucky's first medical marijuana dispensary is temporarily closed. A message on the Post Dispensary website says it is sold out of product and temporarily closed. The store in Beaver Dam, which is in Ohio County, opened December 13th. Products at the store were grown by Farm Tucky, the first licensed cultivator to bring medical marijuana to the market. The message says the dispensary plans to reopen in January. Now, we do also have some good news for Evansville drivers, one that's been a long time coming. Another lane is now open on Riverside Drive. Well, drivers heading north from Veterans Memorial Parkway can now use both lanes. A massive sinkhole closed Riverside down back in March. Repairs continue on the southbound side. No word yet on when it will be fully open. So that is going to round out the news portion here. Of course, the main event is our weather. We'll get to that. But don't forget that we are covering a whole lot more across the tri-state. Very busy day here leading up to the holiday. And so be sure to join us once again for 14 News at 4, 5, and 6. And then our streaming only show tonight at 10. We have some basketball games, doubleheader. It's just going to totally blow out our 10 o'clock show. So we're just going to do a streaming only show. So be sure to check back in with us then. So stick around here in just a moment. We'll hand things over to Arden Gregory.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
Good afternoon. I'm 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory. This is a live look at the Evansville riverfront. It is kind of gray and gloomy out there today, but it's also a bit breezy, and that wind is coming from the south, pulling warmer air up into the tri-state. And so that trend is going to continue for much of this week. Here's just a kind of a headline version of what we're tracking tonight. There is a very isolated chance of rain, but I think the bigger impact won't be the rain. It'll be the fog. I am expecting some patchy, dense fog to develop tonight. Moving forward, most of this week is going to be cloudy with a few very spotty showers, but despite that lack of sunshine, it's also going to be very warm, 20 to 25 degrees warmer than you would expect for this time of year. That obviously can't last forever, though. We have a huge drop in our temperatures as we start next week, thanks to a cold front that's going to move through the tri-state on Sunday. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. Right now, it is cloudy but dry across the tri-state. That's been the case for most of the day, mainly cloudy but dry. This evening, we may see a few very spotty showers, mainly in western Kentucky, but I really think most of us will stay dry through the rest of the day today and even overnight tonight. Tomorrow, again, very cloudy. A few very isolated showers are possible, but much like today, most of us will stay dry. As we get into Christmas Day, again, mostly cloudy, mainly dry. I think there's a slightly better chance we could maybe see a few light spotty showers Thursday evening into Thursday night, tapering off then as we get into Friday morning. But again, none of this rain is going to be widespread or heavy. It's just going to be kind of damp out there. You may catch a stray shower or two as the week goes on, and we won't see very much sunshine at all this week. But the main story is going to be the temperatures. We're sitting in the mid 60s right now. Our normal highs this time of year are in the low to mid 40s, so more than 20 degrees above average for this time of year. It's currently 66 degrees in Evansville. It's actually dropped a couple degrees, and that's despite the fact that we still have this warm wind coming in from the west-southwest, pulling that warm air up into the tri-state. We actually hit 68 degrees at noon today, which does tie us with the record high that was set back in 1933. So we did tie the record high today, and now it seems our temperatures are starting to trend back down as we go through the rest of this afternoon and evening. By the end of the night, we'll bottom out in the upper 40s to right around 50, but we will see some patchy, dense fog. We're going to see that fog developing as we go through the next few hours. By this evening, I do think we'll start to see a little bit of patchy fog, and then it'll really thicken up in some locations as we go through the overnight hours. By early Wednesday morning, we may be dealing with some areas of dense fog across much of the tri-state. Then that will start to clear back off as we go through the first half of the day on Wednesday, and should be clear by about lunchtime tomorrow. But from this evening, overnight, and into Wednesday morning, you may have to deal with some fog. Tomorrow, Wednesday, even as the fog clears out, we're not going to get a lot of sunshine. It's going to stay cloudy but mild. A few degrees cooler than today, but still 20 degrees warmer than average, with highs in the low to mid 60s. And then Christmas Day, I have pulled back the temperatures just a smidge. Really, the driving factor in this unseasonably warm weather that we've got is the wind. The fact that we have warm air just flowing in from the south. Initially, it looked like Christmas Day was going to be rather breezy, and so that increase in that flow of southerly wind was going to push our temperatures even higher. I'm thinking that Christmas is going to be a little calmer now. I don't think it's going to be as breezy as we initially thought, and without that wind driving it, I don't think it's going to get quite as warm now. But it is still going to be one of our top 5 warmest Christmases on record in the tri-state. We may see a few very spotty showers again, but mostly dry. My forecast high of 66 would put us right here. Depending on how you count, that would be either second or third place. So we've got 2019 and 1982 tied for second at 68 degrees. We would be right below that at 66. But we're still a couple days away. We may see that temperature trend back up. We could get back up to 68. I don't think we'll beat the record of 72 that we set back in 2021. But the point I'm trying to make here, it is still going to be an unbelievably warm Christmas. This is far from normal, okay? Our normal highs would be in the low to mid 40s. Tomorrow is going to be 20 degrees warmer than average, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even warmer than that. Highs in the upper 60s. I think Friday will be the warmest day of the week. I think we might even hit 70 that day. And all of these days, the records are in the upper 60s and lower 70s. So I'm not convinced that we'll set any new records, but we're going to be close. We're going to be a lot closer to the records than we are the averages, that's for sure. Then the whole bottom of this falls out as we go through the weekend, right? We've got temperatures dropping on Sunday, and then it's actually going to feel like winter again by Monday and Tuesday. So let's take a look at that. I do want to check in on the comments here. Hello, Suzanne. Zach asking about thunderstorms or just plain old rain for Thursday. I'm guessing you mean Thursday as in Christmas, 2 days from now. Just a few spotty showers. We're not expecting any thunderstorms on Christmas Day. It would be just a little bit of rain at best, and not everyone's even going to see that rain. Rita says she is loving this weather. Yeah, I'm getting some mixed reviews on, mid to upper 60s for Christmas, but it is what it is. Let's talk about that big drop that we've got coming this weekend, though. We do have a weak kind of stalled out cold front moving through tonight. That is going to shift our wind direction a little bit, and that's why tomorrow will be just a few degrees cooler, but it doesn't last very long. We've got that wind coming in from the southwest again by Thursday, Christmas Day. Again, every day this week, it's going to be mostly cloudy with a very isolated chance of rain. None of this rain is going to be heavy or widespread, though. We're not expecting any thunderstorms. Friday, I think, will be a bit breezier. We've got that stronger wind coming in from the south. We may even get a little bit of sunshine in here Friday afternoon. That is going to push us up to near 70 on Friday. I think that's going to be the warmest day of the week. If we do get any sunshine at all on Friday, it would be short-lived. We cloud right back up on Saturday. Saturday is looking mostly dry. Then Sunday. This is where things change. Sunday, again, still not expecting thunderstorms, not expecting severe weather, which I know is surprising. We're going from a high around 70 on Friday and Saturday to a high around 30 on Monday. You would think at some point in between it's going to get ugly, but that just doesn't seem to be the case this time around. I don't think we're going to have the moisture that we need. It just doesn't seem like the components are going to come together. But we are going to have a cold front that's going to pass through the tri-state on Sunday. That brings us our best chance of rain all week, but even that seems like it may be fairly light and scattered. I'm not seeing a real risk of heavy rain or thunderstorms right now. That rain will roll through on Sunday. Then as this cold front pushes off to the southeast, it takes the rain with it. We finally start to see some sunshine around here on Monday, but kind of counterintuitive, the day we finally get some sun, which you would think would warm us up, our temperatures are going to drop because our wind direction is going to change. By Monday, we've got this cold air flowing in from the northwest, and that's where you see this huge drop in our temperatures. So warm air flowing in from the south, very, very mild, 20 to 25 degrees warmer than average through the rest of this week, all the way up through Saturday. So Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Friday the 26th, Saturday the 27th, then we get to Sunday. That's when that cold front moves through. Now, I will say, I think Sunday may end up being one of those weird days where it's possible that high of 52 may happen Sunday morning. Then that cold front swings through and our temperatures are going to drop as soon as that cold front passes. So depending on the exact timing of that front, we may end up seeing our temperatures dropping as we go through the day on Sunday and falling back through the 40s in the afternoon instead of being in the 50s. We'll then see genuine winter cold as we get into the start of next week. Highs in the 30s, lows in the upper teens to low 20s. And then even beyond that, I really think we'll start to warm back up again. I don't think we'll see anything like the near record warmth that we're seeing this week, but you'll notice already Monday into Tuesday, we start to warm up just a little bit, just a few degrees. And I think by New Year's Eve, we may start to climb back into the 40s, more where we should be this time of year. The Climate Prediction Center and their extended outlook from New Year's Eve through the first few days of 2026 does show we might trend back toward slightly above average temperatures with near average precipitation. So again, it's not going to be the kind of crazy near record warmth that we're dealing with this week, but it does seem like that cold snap to start next week may be kind of short-lived, and we'll trend back closer to the 40s, which would be normal, or maybe even a little warmer than that then as we go through the first few days of 2026. Sue is asking why the storm siren went off this afternoon. I haven't heard that, Sue. Where are you located? Because I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about that. We have not had any severe weather this afternoon, at least not here locally in the tri-state, so I'm not sure what that would be in reference to. We haven't had severe weather anywhere around us either. It's not like there was, some just outside. There's been no rain, no severe weather, no nothing anywhere around here. So if the storm siren did go off, depending on where you are, sometimes if it went off like right at noon, depending on where you're at, the days change, but they do sometimes do those tests. So I'm not sure, Sue. I would have to have some more information, but I don't have an answer for you. It wasn't weather related, I tell you that much. We did not have any severe weather, so I don't know why that siren would have gone off. I'm not seeing any other questions about the actual forecast, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And everybody, hopefully you can enjoy the warm Christmas. Like I said, I'm getting mixed reviews. Some people are really bummed. Everybody loves the magic of a white Christmas. I get that. But on the upside, this Christmas you'll probably be able to, spread the gathering out a little bit, have people inside, outside. If your kids are getting an outdoor gift, a bike or something like that, they'll be able to actually go outside and ride it and enjoy it right away. So there are some upsides to having a mild Christmas, and I hope everybody enjoys the warmer temperatures this week, even if we aren't going to see very much sunshine to go with them. All right, I'm going to wrap this up then. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and I hope you'll join us for more news and weather tonight at 4, 5, 6, and 10, and on the streaming show tonight at 9 as well. Have a great day.